Around 3,000 years ago, about 1100 BC, and a generation before Abigail, we find Hannah and her family in the hill country of Ephraim. And it is the time of year when they travel all the way up north to Shiloh to give sacrifices and to worship at the tabernacle. In this video, I want you to feel like you're right there beside Hannah, walking alongside her on the way to the tabernacle. What would that trip have been like? What was her family like? And what was it like once she got to the tabernacle? We'll explore all of this in this video. I'm Samantha Corcoran, and I run the site Geo-Logos, and I love to learn the history and the geography and the culture behind a Bible story, and that's what we'll share in this video today. Hannah lived in the town of Ramah with her husband Elkanah and her rival and co-wife Peninnah. We can call her Penny for short. Ramah is just north of Jerusalem, and it happens to be along the ridge route. Now, if you remember from our Abigail video, this is the same local road that connects the south to the north. And this is the same road that Hannah and her family would have traveled to go north up to Shiloh. And that's where we get our distance challenge for Hannah. It's about 15 miles from Ramah up to Shiloh. Before a big journey like this can even take place, there is a lot of preparation that needs to happen behind the scenes first. And the women would have been responsible for preparing all of the meat offerings, the grain offerings, and the wine offerings, and gathering all of that material and animals together to take with them in their caravan up to Shiloh. This tabernacle that Hannah was about to visit actually stood in place for about 300 years, starting with the time of Joshua when the land was divided between the tribes. And this is where Israel came to worship God. This is where the Ark of the Covenant was for all of those years, and actually stayed until after Hannah's time. This is a recreation of that ancient tabernacle, and this is actually in Timnah Park in southern Israel today. But I love that it is to scale, and it gives you an idea of what it might have been like for Hannah and Elkanah to have gone up to Shiloh. It would have looked very similar to this, with the curtains, with the altar out front. And the atmosphere here at Shiloh would have been electric for this festival. People came from all over to celebrate together, to offer sacrifices at the tabernacle, and there would have been a lot of food. There would have been beer and wine, because that is what they drank. There would have been music, and they even had women as dancers at the tabernacle as part of the celebration. So it would have been very lively. Today, there are archaeological digs at Shiloh, and they want to find, where did this tabernacle actually sit? Where was it geographically on this hill? If you'd like to learn more about the excavations going on at Shiloh, I've got a link in the description below for you. They've uncovered some really interesting artifacts, and they're working their way down through the layers to get to Samuel and Hannah's time, which is really exciting. I hope that you've enjoyed this day in the life of Hannah as she traveled up to the tabernacle in Shiloh, and that it encourages you in your own prayer life with God